What's up? My name is Josh Reese. I'm a fourth year student at the Arizona College of Optometry, and I just finished optometry school. Technically, I still have one more week left, but I have paid all my tuition, and I have probably bought my last thing of groceries and paid my rent, and so now I'm done paying for optometry school. Which I'm sure the question you all have now is, how much debt am I in? Or how much did optometry school cost me? I think I just want to break down how my numbers looked so that you can tell how realistic, have a realistic expectation of what you can expect in your future going to optometry school. So my total debt is $187,939.47. So I am in just under $200,000 of debt finishing optometry school. Average out there is somewhere in the mid 200s, according to the last number I looked at. So I'm pretty fortunate that I was able to live very lean, and my wife did have a job while she was working too, and I worked on campus jobs as well. So I really only took out loans for tuition and rent. And so, our cost of living for the most part was paid for out of pocket. And then the rest of it was student loans. So when I first started going to Arizona College of Optometry, my tuition was about $42,000 a year. It's actually gone up a lot since then. So right now I'm paying about $48,000 a year. So it's gone up by like $6,000 since I started per year. I calculated myself ending optometry school in about $180,000 of debt. So I made it out with basically just $7,000 more dollars in debt than I thought I was going to, which was pretty neat. I also had the benefit of going to school when there was still the interest pause from COVID. So I had about 2 years of paused interest on my student loans, which has obviously helped me out a little bit as well. So my average interest rate for my student loans is 6.38%. Now there's a couple of different things that people do to pay off their student loans, and I'll show you my plan. So one way is to work for an institution that qualifies for loan repayment or loan forgiveness. So basically the student loan forgiveness is that you work for a qualifying institution like a nonprofit, non-for-profit, underserviced community. You make your minimum payments for 10 years, and then whatever you haven't paid back gets forgiven. Now you still get taxed on that forgiveness as if it was income to you, so you still have to pay money up front there at the end, but it's a good option for you if you already know you want to work for a not-for-profit and you know you want to make it 10 years. That's an option a lot of my professors are doing because a lot of universities are not-for-profits, and so they can qualify you for student loan forgiveness. Now you can do like an income-based repayment where if you're not going to be making that much, you don't have to pay that much, or you can just do a standard. And so I'm doing a standard. I'm just doing a 10-year fixed. I want to pay mine off in 10 years. And so that's going to be about $2,000 a month that I pay back for 10 years. Now, upon paying that back for 10 years, my interest will still accrue. And so if I do stick with my standard plan, I don't refinance at all, I pay it off in the 10 years, I'll actually end up paying $253,000. It's going to be almost 70 grand more than I paid just in interest trying to pay it off after. And so I do want to try to pay my student loans off quicker because that's a lot of money that, interest when you have this much debt accrues really fast, and you can owe a lot more money than you think really quickly. And so I am all for trying to get your loans paid off as soon as you can. Some people say that optometry has a bad return on investment because you're not making as much as like a doctor if you go into this much debt, or make less than a dentist. But with the average salary being $135,000, you can make much more than that if you go into private practice ownership and things like that. The default rate on student loans for optometrists is pretty low. Most optometrists that I talk to have been able to pay off their loans no problem, as long as they're willing to, stay steadily employed and live, within their means. I just kind of wanted to make this video to be super transparent, help you know what to expect, And hopefully this can motivate you to live lean and not go into as much debt for optometry school. Get those scholarships, apply for in-state tuition if you can. Witchy if you're in the West Coast. Uh, do all that you can to have to owe less money, because I don't know, we're all in a lot of debt after professional school. So good to know you're in good company. We can do it together, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.